In this video, I'm going to show you how to remove and replace a starter on an E-350 Super Duty van. It's located under the passenger side of the engine. Disconnect the negative, and that's an 8mm wrench or socket. Give it a twist and lift it up. Set it aside. Remove the cover on the starter solenoid. It's a little plastic protective cover. You're going to reuse it, so set it aside. And now we have the positive feed right from the battery right there, and that should be like a 13mm socket, or you can use a wrench, whichever you want. I'm going to break that free. Yeah, it's pretty corroded. When you have this kind of corrosion, you're going to want to clean that cable before you put the new starter in. The starter does come with new nuts, so you don't have to worry too much about that. Pull that cable right off, set it aside. I just like to put the hardware back on. No need to lose it. Now we're on to the solenoid wire, which is a 10mm socket or wrench. Sometimes these snap right off because they're so delicate. Go ahead and pull that right off, and we'll just grab that solenoid wire. I'll pull that harness aside. Now we're going to move on to that ground wire, which is part of the stud in the mounting. That's two 13mm socket and wrench. Now this is very thin in here. I have a thin 1/2-inch wrench, and I do kind of have a thin 13. Let's see if I can get that 1/2-inch enough to grab it. So I'm going to put my 13mm socket on. See if I can twist it, and you'll know as soon as I spin it, the stud takes the wire with it. Once I break that free, see, that's very common. So now we have to get a wrench and hold the backside. Now this is a 1/2-inch, but it'll work. There we go. I'm going to take that socket off. And the more that opens up, the more you can put a regular 13mm on there, because now that cable has backed off. I'm going to grab some spray now, and I'm going to grab my regular 13mm wrench. Now you can see you should be able to get a regular 13 right in there. You don't want to ruin that cable, because if not, you're going to have to put a whole new end on, and that's not ideal. Here we go. All right, now we can take that ground cable off. Like I said, we're definitely going to clean those before we reinstall. Take the stud out, and then we have two more mounting bolts, 13mm head socket. These are actually 8mm bolts. We'll set these down. There we go. One here on the side you can see. I like to just break that one free, and then I'll take the top one completely out. Just like that. Now I know that's loose. The top one, so I have this set up. If you have a swivel 13, just go ahead and use it. With an extension, it's just easy to get on the top here. It's not really a difficult bolt to get to. Now see, if I had taken that other mounting bolt out, the weight of the starter would be on this right now, and it would be a pain trying to get it out. So now we set that aside, and the last one is the easiest one. Last one. Now we're just going to grab that starter. I'm sure it's a little stuck in there. Let's get a hammer, give it a little tap. And there it is. Now I'm going to use a wire brush. You can use sandpaper, anything you can find. Get all that corrosion off, make sure it's getting a good contact. You're going to do that to all 3 connectors and make sure they're good and clean. And now, after I did my cables, I'm going to do the mounting surface, because you saw how I had to take a hammer to it. So we don't want to do that again in the future. I'll probably take some little bit of like a Never Sees light coat and put it on there too. So you can get most of that rust off. And I just cleaned it with a parts cleaner. And actually, I've decided I'm going to put just a little bit of rust inhibitor on that and keep that metal, so that won't hurt it at all. And then just rub it in. See if I can get that surface covered. Perfect. Nice. Get that side bolt, get it started. Always start it by hand. You never want to cross thread steel and aluminum. Oof. That's not fun. Get the top one. Actually, I'm going to do the bottom one. Now we'll put that top bolt in. Furthest one way up here. Make sure you start it by hand. Gotcha. All right. So now I'm going to take my air ratchet and I'm just going to snug them all up so I can torque them to spec. I'm going to start in the middle first. Go to the top. And then the bottom one. You have to put the deep socket on. Just make sure it's snug. All right, let's get our torque gun and torque that down. So we're going to torque the center one, then the top, then the bottom. And the torque spec is 18 foot-pounds. 13 millimeter socket. Let's move on up to the top. And the bottom. You can double check real quick. There we go. All right, now we're ready to put our wires on. So I'm going to start with the ground wire first. Put that nut on. Start it by hand. Then I'll get my electric gun, snug it down. Okay, and the torque is 18 foot-pounds, same as everything else. Put that wire on, then the lock washer, nut. Now there's no torque specs for this. It's basically, you want to crush that washer and just snug it up. It should be a 13 millimeter. I'm going to get a 1/4 inch drive to do this, so that way I don't over tighten it. So the new starter came with a spade connector and we have the eyelet type. So I'm going to take the nut off with a 10 millimeter socket and take that extra spade connector out because we don't need it. It's nice that they give you that option because some years came with a female spade on the harness side, so it would have plugged right in. So that's a nice option. And we'll just take that and keep it for other times. Now I'm going to take that solenoid wire, slide it right over, but you want to make sure that it doesn't hit anything. You don't want it to actually power up, because if it does, guess what? The car just cranks on its own. All right, so now we'll put that flat washer on, then the nut, start it by hand. And that, like I said, is a 10mm socket. Now we're just going to replace it with that safety cap. So, the 2 positive wires and then the solenoid. There you go. Reconnect our negative battery cable. Make sure it's down snug. Take our 8mm socket or wrench and we'll tighten that right up. Make sure it doesn't wobble. Good to go. When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.